Hello, and welcome back to DJ Force 10 in Conversation. Sorry about the hiatus between the last one and this one. The last one was with Misery Loves Company, which got received very well, and I just didn't follow it up in time just due to various life events and other things taking precedent, which all seem to be calming down now, and just sort of getting back into the groove and actually able to give my like other passions like this, the podcast, a bit more concentration and actually give it the time it deserves. But I've got another one lined up after this one. I've got 98 sorted as well for September. So I'm going to continue to record now. I've got a space set up that's kind of working for me now. But yeah, the next two I've got are very different. Like this one is with Tiffany. For those of you who were about in the sort of late 80s, would have heard the song "I Think We're Alone Now." That was her. That went to number one in many countries. It was a huge hit just around the world. She released subsequently more music that has done well as well. She just released a new album last year called Pieces of Me, which is, if you like your sort of rock pop sort of sound, go listen to it. It's on all the streaming services. It's available to buy. But I caught her at a studio in Wales, recording her next album, in fact, and she's preparing for the Rewind Festival, North and South, which comes up in August, which is imminent, August 3rd and August 17th. One's up in Macclesfield, which is the north one. One's in Henley, which is the one down south. But yeah, she was a great guest. I was like totally flabbergasted to get her. So shout out to DJ Pennell, also colleague on Total Rock. He managed to get that set up through a couple of friends of his, just by random chance, really. But I love it when those sort of things come together, because it just makes it a little bit more special. But the next one I got as well is Cult of Luna. So there couldn't really be two different interviews I did in subsequent days. So from pop rock to doom sort of sludge metal kind of thing. And yeah, anyway, that's something to look forward to. I can't release that till September. So that's more to do with their new album that's coming out and stuff. But we're here to talk about Tiffany, which I'll give you in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to say again, thank you for everyone that's kind of sent me messages and stuff, just asking what's going on. Apologies for not replying, just purely on the basis that I needed to give some other things some concentration. I'm still doing my 365 days of Scratch. If anyone is interested in that, that is still going on my YouTube channel and Instagram channel, at DJ Force X. You can find that on there, and we're on, as of recording today, I believe it's 213. So every day I'm recording a couple of minutes of me scratching, different techniques, different scratch types, stuff like that. No real reason behind it, just a self-challenge, really. Kind of is testing my mental health, I'll tell you that. Just purely on the basis of getting it done every day, holding myself accountable. But I'm portable, I'm out and about, I've got my setup at home, I found all my DJ gear from all the way back when I was in Zero Cypher and stuff like that, and yeah, it's all working. So there's a few bits I need to upgrade. Need to get a new mixer, stuff like that, because I'm wearing out the one I've got. But yeah, no, using Phase as well. That's my latest little gadget. That's absolutely awesome. I went to the DJ Expo or the DJ show, I should call it, in Newbury, thanks to djkit.co.uk. They put on this like exhibition show for all the DJ manufacturers to kind of showcase their gear. I met up with the Scratch Link Up crew, which are a portabilist crew that are really into portablism. I don't know if you remember, or if you're a frequent listener to this podcast, I did mention portablism a couple of years back. And yeah, I'm now part of that. I picked up myself a PTO 01, Scratch turntable. Got it modded, got a new crossfader on there, got a stop-start button. But yeah, no, if you look at my videos, there's a couple of them out at my kids' like school playground and stuff like that, in the car. I plan to do a lot more of that. I also plan to enter the DMC. They've got a portabilist like challenge they're going for this year's DMC, but yeah, that's all gonna come. So anyone who's into DJing and stuff, there's a lot more of that coming up. on future podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll be cracking on with that. But right now, I'm going to hand it over to myself and Tiffany. Enjoy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I appreciate you waiting for me.
Oh, no, that's absolutely fine. I absolutely appreciate you doing this. So it's totally my pleasure. Hello, Tiffany.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
I am doing good. I am just at Rockfield Studios in Wales making my new record.
Oh, nice. And
so I'm actually in the office part where I heard a really cool story earlier about Freddie Mercury with Queen.
Yep.
And they had recorded here Bohemian Rhapsody. And like he was in this actual office now. This office space was like, I don't know, maybe another rehearsal studio or something like that, or just a space across from the studio. And everybody else was like, playing just like, kicking the football around a little bit. And Freddie was in here in this very office creating Bohemian Rhapsody, which is really amazing.
Oh, amazing.
So I've been staring at this building for 2 or 3 days now from across there. And now I'm sitting in this building having my interview with you, which is amazing.
Oh.
And this is great. It was meant for me to be in here.
Yeah, no, that is amazing. I love that.
Great opportunity. Yeah, I know. Just soak it up.
And I'm going to
soak up the vibes.
And I've only got Brian May down the road from me as well. So,
well, I truly believe in that kind of stuff. So I really do think it's like magical. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Excellent.
It's just an awesome experience when you can like I was listening to Kingsley, again, the owner of Rockfields, and he was saying, all his stories, and you're just like, you just can't buy those stories. They're amazing.
No, you can't.
So, but that's what music is about. That's what it does.
Exactly.
Changes the hearts of everybody, and then the stories behind it, or the musician behind it, and then the simplicity and the human behind it is amazing.
Yeah. No, definitely. That's amazing. Excellent. Well, what a way to start this. It's like amazing. Yeah, you're in. Obviously, you said you're in the UK at the moment, in Wales, you're here to play a couple of festivals as well, I believe. You've got a couple coming up.
I am. I'm going to be doing a couple different festivals and some acoustic shows and some publicity and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I think when I'm over here, it's like my second home now.
Yeah,
because I spent so much time in the last 5 years, really. So I love it here.
Oh, excellent. Great. Well, that's good to know. I recently moved back from America, so.
Did you?
Yeah, I was.
What part of America?
I was living in Florida, in Tampa.
Oh, okay.
So
perfect. Yeah, well, I'm from California originally, so
yeah, it's different coast.
I love, I love California. I keep going back and forth if I'm going to go back there.
Oh, excellent.
Traffic's the only thing that's keeping me away at this point.
Yeah. No, it was the humidity for me. Like coming back here, even though the weather isn't always great. It's been nice for the past couple of days, but it's not quite Tampa weather.
I can't do. Yeah, I mean, I reside in Nashville primarily when I'm back in the States, but I actually stay here in the UK quite often. So for me, again, this is really like my second home. So I love it over here.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So with your let's just go, because you mentioned you're recording a new record. Let's go with this. What can your fans expect from that? Because I want to talk about Pieces of Me as well, which you released last year. But let's sort of have the dessert first, if you will. And if you can talk about your new record and how it's shaping up.
Well, I mean, we're about 4 or 5 songs in, and it's shaping up. I'm all smiles right now.
Cool.
I'm about to break out some champagne here pretty soon. Put it that way. It's going really, really well.
Excellent.
So I think we're going to take a little turn from Pieces of Me, which was released, like you said, last year. And, Pieces of Me was really kind of like my solid coming out as far as, all my heart's desires of doing more of the rock direction.
Yeah.
And I think that, definitely we accomplished that. So it was great to kind of work the record, be on the road. And that it takes a lot of pounding the pavement a little bit, to like get people behind it, get them to understand it, then hear the album, then see me live. And they're like, oh, wow, I really get it now. So, but I mean, that's what I do. I mean, that's why I've been working so hard, and I'm totally committed to just, this sound and everybody involved in the project. So, it's something that we're just going to keep plugging forward.
Yep.
And enjoying, and I really am trying to take in all the different levels of this, and all the different learning experiences and all the different experiences, period.
Yeah.
As being an independent artist,
Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing. And then that's kind of led to, obviously now, there are some expectation for the new album, which is kind of great, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually you're like, but I mean, it tells you you've accomplished something. So I'm going to take it in a positive and move forward and not get hectic about it. But the new album, we really, like I said, we're tapping into some stuff and maybe turning a corner into, kind of honing like a real Tiff sound.
Yeah.
And I know that Pieces of Me was really a little bit of all of it. It really was Pieces of Me.
Yeah.
And now that I've kind of released that album and been on the road and worked that album, and now writing what I just kind of feel is the next thing and like my base, it is a little bit more punk, believe it or not,
cool.
which I love. Yeah, I think it's really, really cool, but fun. I mean, it's like, it's like that go-go sound, that Blondie kind of sound.
Yeah.
I think that it's really appropriate that I'm doing kind of a current retro sound, if you can.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I remember that it's not easy, it's not overly complicated. It's very easy. It's toe tapping. I know these melodies. Again, it's just, you fall into it, that was some really interesting, music behind it. That is, not so straightforward, which I think is really cool. Which is, of course, the band and my producer, Mark.
Yeah.
And if my 2 cents that I come in every once in a while, I'm like, hold on, I actually have a good idea, but, because I'm a lyricist, really, is what I really do. And I do hear melodies a lot.
Yeah.
But, sometimes as far as like really sitting there and talking to the band and like breaking down something, I look at Mark to do that.
Yeah.
We're great partners.
Cool.
As a writing team and stuff like that. So it's been great to do another record with him. And it's, it's kind of endless now. It's like, oh man, this is like even better than it was before. So, it's great. It's great to be in that position. We've come together at Rockfields now and kind of walked into it and did exactly what a lot of bands before us have done while they were here, is not have anything really overly prepared. An idea, of, we've had an idea, and then we went to rehearsals before we got here in Brighton. But like all the lyrics and everything like that, all the, this is the song. No, that all comes alive here.
Oh, that's good.
In this magic place.
Yeah.
So, that's, again, I'm forever grateful, but it does put a little stress on you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like you say,
you're just like, okay, we're going to put this nice studio and we're hope to shine. But I think there is something about the environment and all the magic that happens and all the moments in between and, just hanging out with your, this is like my family. So, it's great that, it's great to be around people that you love, and to be taking in the moment. And there's so much here. Again, just listening to all the stories about being at Rockfields and stuff with Ozzy singing Paranoid in the front studio at 16. I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool place. So I think that's what you're going to hear on this record in a weird way.
Yeah.
Because, for an artist, when we're like tingling a little bit, like new kids in a shop, or like just, taking it all in for the very first time, you get that energy. And I think there's going to be some really cool stuff on this album. For the first 5 songs, we can already feel that.
Excellent.
Imprinted on the music,
That's amazing. That's really cool. Thank you for that. So going back to your album from last year, Pieces of Me. I've been listening to it since this has kind of been talked about the interview wise, because I'm like, maybe I should listen to some stuff, because I remember way back when. And I really, really enjoyed the album. It had a
Thanks.
it was a kind of, I don't know, I kind of like to compare, but it was like kind of a Stevie Nicks, Tom Petty kind of vibe going on. I don't know if that was an aim of yours or not, but it was just kind of like got that sort of like I don't know, that just kind of like, I don't know, it's got elements of pop and rock in it, and it just kind of it was really good. There was a couple of tracks I really liked. Worlds Away was one. I think that was the opening track. And what was the other one? King of Lies. Waste of Time. So I'm just pulling these off the top of my head at the moment. I'm usually pretty good at remembering them. And I think The Fool as well. I think that was the last track, wasn't it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
No, I mean, all the songs on this album, I mean, again, Pieces of Me, it really was Pieces of Me.
Yeah.
All the different influences and all the different, things that I've done over the years. I mean, even as a writer, that came out here, where I'm at currently, what's going on in my life, who's in my life. It's all there on the record. You just got to listen. So, I mean, it's like, it's amazing that, music can like be such a therapy for an artist. And, I had an album before, Pieces of Me, A Million Miles. And that was kind of me showing that I could really sing. I'm a vocalist, because a lot of people, I didn't know you can sing like that. And I'm like, well, okay, maybe I should do an album that reflects that.
Yeah.
So I did A Million Miles that was much more singer-songwriter. But, again, a lot of people had passed away in my life, and things changed so much. So it was kind of like my healing. And then Pieces of Me comes along, and, of course, it's got that rock edge that I love. And, and it is telling my story, though. It's telling where I'm at now and what's involved and what's going on in my head, and, what it's like to be on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Now full-time as an artist. And, and then the new album, which doesn't have a title now, but, that's going to be even more about, my life, really. And some of the lighter factor of that, I think the Pieces of Me is amazing, but it is like songs like Storm, it's a love story.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what that is. That's what that song is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that this next album is going to be much more like I'm setting, what I do and who I am and what's going on. And it's time to like have some fun.
Yeah.
I'm touring the world, and I'm having a good time, and just got off the New Kids on the Block tour, the mixtape tour, and lots of great moments there, lots of great memories. And so I'm extremely encouraged to take the new music and Pieces of Me still around the world, and of course, the new I Think We're Alone Now. It was amazing to see it go, a million views on the new video for I Think We're Alone Now in a month.
Yep.
I just was overwhelmed with that. That was great.
Yeah, it's good to know those that your sort of like fan base is still there. That's I think one of the sort of positives of the current like music scene, I guess, or industry, I should say, is where you can get that kind of you put out a video and you can see how many people still want to hear it, want to see what you're doing now. And I was actually, one of my questions I was going to ask you, because you've been in the industry through, since the 80s, up until now, how you've seen it change, and how you've adapted to that change. Because I know a lot of artists around the time of the sort of like digital sort of revolution, if you will, weren't sure what to do, or weren't, obviously if you left it to the sort of industry people behind the scenes to kind of take care of that. But I see you've been taking more control over what you do and what you write, like you co-produce and things like that. So how is that, like, watching it from your seat, how does the industry change for you?
Well, I mean, I think that's, you tapped into a bit about this, it's just that I was always, told, well, you don't write your own stuff and you don't play an instrument, but I was a vocalist and I did write as a writer, but nobody really wanted to kind of take that under their wing a little bit. So, the first couple of things that I showed as a writer, of course, I was 14, so I'm sure it wasn't very good, but I wasn't encouraged. So I sat on the back burner for a long time waiting. And it was really my band members who I started to write with because I felt comfortable with them, just jamming and being away with them and being on the road or in the studio or whatever it was, so spending that time with them. And then they were, so musical, it's just flowing out of them. And I would jump in there, and I just didn't really have any restraints as far as feeling awkward or anything like that. I felt like just, oh, okay, I can fall here. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably why I work with mostly musicians, even more than just straight out producers and stuff like that. People who are really, in my band or something that I'd like to have that bond with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's such a difference between working records in the 80s and working records now. I mean, again, the opportunities now are at your fingertips, whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
If you want to really work it, you really can. You can turn it into, your brand, your business, whatever you want, really. But back then, I mean, you were tied to a certain protocol and, and if things didn't go well, they didn't go well. Or they didn't go at all, pretty much.
Yes.
So it's very nerve-wracking. I don't really miss those days. No. I wouldn't want that system to come back. I mean, there was some, grandeur there. There was a lot of, glamour as well. That, people paid for, the artist paid for. But still, I think there was a little bit of that smoke and mirrors that still was in the music industry that we may maybe call Hollywood or rock and roll or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Now it's so, to some degree, a little corporate. And so it is just straight there. That's it. There's no filter.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think again, as an independent, that gets you to be a creative, even visually. It's not just music. It's your image, it's your visual, it's all of it.
Yep.
How you want to present it. It's, the font that you use as your, logo, all of that kind of stuff matters.
Yeah.
Now. And the cool thing is that you can kind of control that and you can really do your homework and research and learn some of that stuff on the fly of what works and what doesn't. So, I mean, I'm excited for a lot of people that want to start, music anywhere.
Yeah.
In a field somewhere. If you really want it, you can find those resources to get it at least out there. And then, some of that again is chance. And if it's meant to be, and luck or whatever you would call it. So it takes all of it really to make it happen for the next level. Yeah,
no, definitely. I've in the music industry, I was in a band, in a metal band for the longest time, and I also used to work at a nightclub here in the UK, and we'd have traveling kind of pop artists come through, and you can. A lot of them had a lot of talent, and I was always very kind of praising that because it generally sometimes wasn't my kind of music or anything like that. But the fact that the guy's going out there and he's playing all these clubs in front of, he's just playing 2-3 songs a night, but in front of these club crowds and things like that. He's it's kind of like the new kind of jumping in a van, I guess, for a full rock band. But this guy was an individual kind of. He had a beat track, but he was doing all the vocals himself and dance moves, things like that. And he worked hard. He's still going now, as far as last time I saw him, anyway, and that wasn't too long ago. But yeah, it's very different now. It's just sort of crazy seeing that then, and the sort of the sort of hustle people do now. And how it has changed on that front, and how. Oh yeah, totally. I mean, but again, here I am. I can release an album whenever I want to. I don't have to wait. I don't have to do the whole. We're going to wait 18 to 24 months or whatever it is. And I know what I can do, and I can go with a distribution company, get my music out there, and and I'm very grateful for that. I really am. Mostly, I'm very grateful to all the fans. Yes. Who keep wanting new music, and everybody who's interested in new music, and
and the excitement of I Think We're Alone Now, again, the new version,
Yep.
Which is awesome. And, of course, I'm that girl. I'm the mall girl. I Think We're Alone Now. So, I mean, I love, being, who I am. People know me from, I Think We're Alone Now, Could Have Been.
Yeah.
But I really love even more when they know me from, the current stuff that I'm doing. So that's the mission. But I enjoy doing all of it. I mean, that's, and thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it.
No, that's absolutely my pleasure.
I'm gonna go knock it out another vocal. There's still work to be done.
Okay.
Tonight's our last night here, so
okay,
we're gonna be like going into the wee hours until we can't go anymore.
All right, cool. Well, can I just knock out a couple of more questions? And I've got a couple left, if that's all right, and I'll let you get back to it because I don't want to take away from that time because I know it's important. And I do want to hear your new record when it comes out. So I want you to get on with it. Just a couple more. Like I say, these are sort of questions that I generally ask most of the people that come on my podcast. They're kind of like quick fire, although they do require a little bit of thought most of the time, or especially one of them tends to stump a few people. But so what are your 3 top albums that kind of shape who you are? Like, if you could pick the 3 albums that say, that's me, which ones would they be?
Oh, gosh. I can't really pick just 3, really? Only 3?
Yeah, just 3.
Rumors, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, excellent. Yep.
I would pick... Oh, man. It's going to be hard. I would probably pick Joni Mitchell, Greatest Hits.
Cool.
And I would pick any album from Led Zeppelin ever.
Okay.
So just pick one.
Yeah. That's fine.
Anyone if that's my last choice, my last 2 choices, I'd take anything from Led Zeppelin.
That's fine. Just pick the best of. So it's like...
Best of, yes.
Cool. Thank you for that. When you're not doing music, what are your hobbies away from music? What do you do to kind of like unwind, or do you have any other passions that you kind of you like to cultivate?
Oh, well, I mean, I love to cook. That's my thing.
Excellent.
I'm a big, I'm a foodie big time. So I love to, cook and experiment with different sauces and different, recipes and styles. I really don't, I'm not really, a conformist really. When it comes to cooking, I'm just kind of like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but it's always earthy and it's always more, kind of with a flair. I like a lot of not spicy, but more earthy kind of taste, So, and I have my special ingredients and things like that. So I have cookbooks coming out next year and at the end of this year for Christmas. But I've done a lot of different cooking shows in the States and hope to do more stuff.
Yeah, I remember I saw you on, I think it was the Guy Fieri. I can't remember the name of the show. But you're on one of his shows.
Ray versus Guy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I made it to number 3. Well, I was one of 3 people.
Yes.
So, but Herschel Walker, his grandmother's fried chicken, of course, took
always.
You can't compete with my fried chicken.
No, but I remember seeing it. I was reminded of it when I was kind of like looking things up, and that just reminded me again. No, that's cool. I love food myself, so, and I love cooking, so it's awesome. So cool.
Yeah, no, that's my hobby.
Excellent.
That's my jam.
Excellent. Enjoy your shows you've got coming up for the Rewind Festival.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's going to be so much fun. Good
luck with the rest of your recording. I look forward to seeing hearing what you produce on there. And
thank you.
Thank Mark from me as well, because I know he set this up through one of my contacts and stuff. So,
awesome.
So thank you to him. But Tiffany, absolutely, thank you very much. And,
thank you so much for your time.
No problem. And just enjoy the rest of the time in the UK.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.